What if the secret you buried with your friends came back to haunt you? And this time, someone's out for blood. Welcome to Southport, where the past never stays dead, and the truth is more dangerous than any killer. The story kicks off with Ava, who returns to her hometown of Southport after years away, just to attend her best friend's engagement party. As she gets ready, she slips into her favorite dress, hoping to boost her mood. When she arrives at the party, the place is buzzing with guests. She quickly finds Danica, who, seeing Ava looking absolutely stunning, jokes that she should spice up her life by flirting with Milo, who's currently chatting with Teddy, Danica's fiancé. Teddy, by the way, is the son of the most powerful real estate mogul in town, and he knows all about Ava and Milo's history. Milo tries to keep his distance, but it's obvious he's not that committed to avoiding her. Later that night, the group starts sharing what's new in their lives. Both Ava and Milo agree there's no way they'd ever move back to Southport for good, but maybe they could relive a few memories. Since it's the 4th of July, they decide to make the most of the night. Of course, the party gets a little wild. Drinks are flowing and substances are definitely in the mix. Just as they're about to leave, they bump into Stevie, an old friend who's been out of touch ever since her dad ran off with her college savings. She's been through a lot, but the group invites her to join them for fireworks, even though Danica isn't totally on board. Stevie's coworker covers her shift, so she tags along, and just like that, the crew heads out to their old hangout spot. The night is full of reckless energy. At one point, Teddy yells at Danica to stop the car, but it's just a prank. There's nothing in the road. They finally reach a secluded spot on the highway with the best view of the fireworks. Teddy gets sentimental, saying he's missed these moments since high school. But he's so out of it, he doesn't notice a car coming straight at him. Milo reacts fast, shoving Teddy out of the way. But then, out of nowhere, a truck swerves to avoid them, slams on the brakes, and crashes over the edge of a cliff. For a second, everyone's frozen in shock. They rush to help, but the truck doors are jammed. Teddy tries to pry one open while the others push against the car, but it's no use. The truck tumbles over the cliff. No one in the group is hurt, but they're all shaken. They know, deep down, that their actions led to the crash. Chaos erupts. Should they call the cops? Teddy's reckless move caused the accident, but maybe it was just a freak tragedy. Teddy calls his dad, asking him to handle it with the police and paramedics. The group decides to bail before anyone shows up, swearing each other to secrecy. Ava's the only one who wants to come clean, but the others shut her down. They make her promise to keep quiet, knowing this could ruin all their lives. A year later, Ava's back in Southport. At the airport, she meets Tyler, who's also headed into town. Since Milo's supposed to pick her up, Ava asks for a ride. On the drive, she senses tension between her new companions. Tyler mentions she hosts a true crime podcast and is in town to record an episode about the 1997 massacre. Soon, they arrive at Danica's bachelorette party. She's getting remarried, and Ava learns Danica and Stevie have gotten close again. During the gift opening, Danica finds an anonymous card with a chilling message. "I know what you did last summer." Instantly, memories of that awful night come flooding back. Danica tries to play it cool, but she's rattled. She pulls her closest friends aside and shows them the note, suspecting Teddy sent it to mess with her. After all, only they and Teddy's dad know what happened. They checked into the man who died, Sam Cooper, and found he had no close family, so revenge seems unlikely. Now, they're not sure if someone witnessed the accident or if they're being blackmailed. They go to confront Teddy, who's been drinking his days away on his boat since his breakup with Danica. He's bitter and confused by the note, swearing he had nothing to do with it. He tells them if the message was just for Danica, it's her problem, and kicks them off his boat. That night, Ava's at home, feeling like she's being watched. Wyatt, Danica's new fiancé, tries to reassure her, thinking she's just nervous about the wedding. To relax, Ava takes a bath and listens to a meditation podcast. Meanwhile, Wyatt downs a bottle in the kitchen. Suddenly, the pool lights flicker on. He goes outside to check, but the lights go out again. As he heads back inside, he's ambushed. A harpoon slams into his shoulder. He tries to fight back, but the attacker, wielding a massive hook, strikes again. Wyatt begs for his life, but it's too late. Danica, fresh out of the bath, finds Wyatt's body and calls the police. Her friends rush over to support her, but she's racked with guilt for not hearing his cries for help. Teddy and his dad show up, promising to keep a patrol on the property. Later, Ava and Danica have a heart-to-heart, apologizing for the distance between them. They both admit they've been struggling since that 4th of July, and maybe they're finally paying for keeping that secret. The next day, the group meets up and realizes Wyatt's death wasn't random, it's revenge. But why was Wyatt the first target? He didn't even know the whole truth. They start to suspect Tyler, the true crime podcaster, especially after listening to her show and hearing her talk about the 1997 killings, when a raincoat-wearing killer with a hook terrorized Southport. Milo is convinced Tyler's behind the threats and the murder, but not everyone agrees. Still, the similarities to the old case are hard to ignore, and with Teddy's dad having wiped the police files, they know they're on their own. Ava meets up with Tyler, who takes her to Bayside House, the site of one of the original fisherman attacks. Tyler explains that Julie James, one of the survivors from 1997, now lives far away, trying to escape her past. Suddenly, Tyler splits off to explore upstairs. Alone, Ava texts her friends, saying, "Tyler's creeping her out." Then, Ava comes face to face with someone in a bizarre costume. At first, she thinks it's a prank, but when she sees Tyler upstairs, she screams for her to run. The fisherman attacks, but Ava manages to injure him and lock herself in a compartment. When she finally gets out, the killer is gone and the doors are locked. Tyler appears, just as scared. Suddenly, a heavy cage drops, trapping Ava. Tyler tries to help, but the fisherman attacks her too. Before dying, Tyler rips off the killer's hood and recognizes him. Ava escapes, but Tyler isn't so lucky. The town is buzzing about the murder, but Teddy's dad pressures the police to close the case quickly. The group realizes they can't count on the authorities and have to solve this themselves. Ava seeks out Julie James, who's now teaching a class on PTSD. At first, Julie thinks Ava's joking about the fisherman, but soon realizes she's serious. Ava begs for help, but Julie warns her that the only way out is to face the killer head-on. At a town meeting, Ava tries to speak up, but Grant, Teddy's dad, discredits her. Ray Bronson, another 1997 survivor, steps in, but even his words are drowned out by Grant's promises. The group decides to investigate Sam Cooper's death. Milo, Ava, and Stevie head to a junkyard and discover the truck from the accident belonged to Pastor Judas. Meanwhile, Teddy and Danica visit the cemetery and notice someone left flowers on Sam's grave. They convince the junkyard manager to show them security footage, but the fisherman attacks and destroys the evidence. Danica is attacked in the cemetery but escapes thanks to Teddy. Back at Julie's house, she's on edge. Her ex-husband Rye shows up, worried about her safety, but their conversation turns tense. Meanwhile, the group tries to piece together why Pastor Judas would want revenge for Sam's death. Teddy's fed up with the theories, and Stevie leaves for work. Milo and Ava stay at Danica's for safety, but when Milo steps out to charge his phone, he's ambushed by the fisherman. Ava gets a text from Milo's phone, not realizing he's already dead. The next day, Ava and Danica try to talk to Pastor Judas, but end up locked in a police cell after accusing him. That night, Teddy finds a threatening message in the sauna. As fireworks explode outside, the fisherman attacks. Teddy fights back, but is ultimately dragged into the darkness. Grant finds his son at the door, covered in blood, but before he can help, the fisherman kills him too. Danica wakes up alone in the police station, then finds herself in a nightmare where she's confronted by Helen Shivers, who blames her for Wyatt's death. Danica wakes up to chaos at the station. Grant and Teddy's bodies have been found hanging in the bay. Ray urges everyone to leave town. As they drive away, they find Milo's car with his body inside. Devastated, they decide to escape by boat. The police finally act, following the girls' accusations against Pastor Judas. But when they find him, he's broken, kneeling in the church. On the boat, Ava and Danica hear a strange noise. They're not alone. The police find a photo linking Pastor Judas, Sam, and Stevie. Suddenly, Stevie attacks Danica, revealing herself as the killer. She explains that after her dad abandoned her, Sam was the only one who cared. When he died in the accident, Stevie lost everything. She blames the group for taking away the person she loved most and is out for revenge. A brutal fight breaks out. Danica and Ava struggle to survive, with Ava firing a flare gun to defend herself. Ray and Ava try to reason with Stevie, but she attacks Danica. In the chaos, Danica is wounded, and Ray, realizing the truth about Stevie, steps in to stop her. The nightmare finally ends. Ava survives, but her friends are gone. She calls Julie to reveal the truth, and Julie discovers a connection between Stevie and Ray. Ava, now alone in a bar, seeks comfort from Ray. He tells her that revenge only leads to more pain. But as Ava watches him struggle to take off his jacket, she remembers injuring the fisherman at Bayside. Suddenly, she realizes Ray was helping Stevie all along. The door is locked. Ray confesses that Stevie begged him not to hurt Ava, and that he planned to frame her for everything. As he attacks, Ava fights back, finally ending the nightmare with a harpoon. Danica, swept away by the tide, survives and gets medical help. Now she and Ava are recovering together, but they know Stevie is still out there, and this time they're ready to finish what was started.